If you're watching this video, I'm assuming that you're probably an outcast. You don't have that many friends, you stay in your room all day, jacking off or playing video games, and now you're starting to kind of feel lonely. You start to see the people around you on social media even have fun, hang out with their friends, and you're just like laying down on your bed, scrolling through Instagram, trying to find something to bust a nut to. And if this sounds like you, then please keep watching this video. This video is going to be how to make good friends and long-lasting friendships/relationships. Now, this is a very important video because this whole thing is pretty much the core basis of self-improvement. This whole concept of winning people over and becoming a good person and making a good amount of friends, this is one of the most important things ever to learn in self-improvement, and we're going to be talking about it right now. So I have a couple of steps, and I don't want you to think about this video as like a step-by-step process. You don't need to do, okay, I have to do this step, and then I have to do step 2, then step 3. Like, just have a good knowledge on all the things I'm going to tell you in this video. Think about them and implement them in your daily life. Now, this video is going to be heavily based on the book How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. This is one of the most important books you could ever read. I'm going to link it down below so you can buy it because Dale Carnegie obviously explains it way better than I will. So please go read that book. It's a very, very good book. It was made like 90 years ago or something like that, so it stood the test of time. Very good book. I highly recommend you buy that book. Now, we're going to get on to the video. So I have a few steps here, and this is going to be a little bit weird because you're probably expecting like specific things, but here's the first step. This is actually step 0. So instead of even going to the first step, before you even go out and talk to people, here is step 0. So step 0, before you do anything, you have to practice good mental health habits. Guys, you cannot win people over. You cannot be the good guy. You cannot be the guy that people want to be around if your mental health is utter shit. Because people sense that physically and mentally to you. Like, for example, if you know you bust like 3 nuts a day, all you do is play video games and you eat bullshit food and you really don't feel good about yourself, that's going to show off to your character. And then people are going to look at you and be like, I don't want to be around this guy anymore. So practice good mental health habits. Now, what are good mental health habits? What are some things you can do? There are a few things that I recommend you do. One is gratitude journaling. Now, we're going to be talking about gratitude a lot in this video because quite frankly, I think it's very important you learn about gratitude because A, it gets you in a positive mood because you're thinking about the things you're grateful for, and B, it has really positive long-term effects. So you'll be not as drawn to negativity as you were before if you just keep thinking about the things you're grateful for. So journaling about gratitude is very important. The second one is meditating. Now, what meditating is going to do is that it's going to help you become more aware of your environment and help you live in the present moment, which is something that prevents you from wandering around and being aloof to everything. If you meditate more often, you're going to feel like you're in the present moment more than you're in your own head, which you won't think too much when you talk to people. So, like, you'll be very, very good at socializing if you're in the present moment and you're feeling the sensations around you and you're just here, being in the zone. That's what athletes like to call it. They like to call it being in the zone. That's what meditating helps you does. Those two things are essential for this. So if you gratitude journal and you meditate, you're already like over halfway through, and all you need to do is implement the steps I'm about to teach you here. So do those two things. And those honestly could be the only things you need to do. If you guys want to watch more videos on mental health, please let me know down in the comments below because I'd be more than happy to make a video on that. So step 1, this is the first step. You need to be honest and authentic around the people that you're surrounding yourself with. Now, what I mean by this is that when you are talking to people, when you're talking to your friends, when you're talking to somebody, don't fucking lie. You don't want to lie to the people that you're trying to influence or the people you're trying to have surrounded in your life. Now, this can come in many forms. Pretending to be someone you're not, literally lying about something, like saying you've done things when you haven't, like you say, like, oh, I played football, I was a star quarterback, but you actually were like a D lineman and the bench. So don't lie, be authentic to yourself, and don't be afraid to test the waters of your personality. A lot of people are afraid that they think they're too weird or they're too they're too something, like they're too much of something, and therefore they kind of repress their emotions. Don't do that. Don't ever do that. If you're a certain character and it stands out from people, honestly, that can probably have people like you more, because that means that like you're different from other people. And the fact that you've practiced mental health and everything, that means you're automatically somebody that people will want to be around more often. So it can create a very addictive, in a positive way, personality. So being authentic and trustworthy, not hiding anything behind your back. You're not trying to hide any particular motives. For example, if you're trying to talk to a girl and, you give out a compliment, she can tell whether or not it's flattery or not. So, like, if you tell a girl, hey, you look very pretty today, there's two ways she can interpret that. If you're hiding something, that means, like, you have a particular motive. So if you tell her, I think you're pretty, and it's obvious that you want something out of her. So, like, for example, you want to fuck this girl, and she can tell, like, if you do that stuff. Hide that away, and just be completely authentic. Like, if you were to go and compliment to a girl authentically, you want to say, hey, I think you look really good today. And it's kind of hard to tell, but in a way, she will know. Like, she will know whenever it's flattery or not, because at that point, you're just telling her she looks good. You're not wanting anything, you're not asking for anything. And, she appreciates you more for that. So that's step one, is being authentic to the people around you. Now, the second step is to not complain and not condemn people. Now, everybody complains. Honestly, everybody complains on their day-to-day life. They talk about, like, their hard day at their 9-to-5 job, or, something going on with money or something like that. Like, people complain all the time. Like, how the car is going too slow. The car in front of you is not driving fast enough. People complain, like, all the time. Now, if you're the person, you are already the person that is meditating and journaling and everything like that. So you're already thinking about the things that you're grateful for. So in these situations where you're thinking about complaining or condemning, instead of doing that, now you're thinking, what are some things I'm grateful for? Well, if you're driving the car and there's a car that's going really slow, you could either be the guy that's like, oh my God, this car's going so slow, hurry up. Or you can be the guy that says, you know what? In times of stress, at least I'm thankful that I have a car, that I can drive these places. And honestly, like, out of all the days, why would I get this upset over this sort of thing, This is obviously going back to step 0, because that's, like, the most vital point. But the less you complain and condemn around people, especially people you don't know, like, that is a game changer. Like, you will, like, it is so big, because you'll just look like a big bundle of sunshine around, like, a dark group of people, especially if you're, like, a teenager or something, because teenagers, quite frankly, are very, very quiet, very, like, depressing almost. Like, a lot of teenagers are, like, around people they don't know, they're very reclusive. If you're, like, that type of person, people are going to be more drawn to you, and you're going to influence people a lot more when you're not complaining and being negative all the time. Nobody likes a negative person. Don't be negative. I learned that the hard way. I learned that the fucking hard way when I was in middle school. Don't be a negative person. Now, the third step is pretty much going to be being genuinely interested in other people. So there's two types of people in this world. There are people who listen to react, and there's people who listen just to listen. So what I mean by this is that reduce the amount of times you say I in your sentence. Like, any personal pronouns, like I, me, our, like, not our or we, but like anything that's an individual pronoun. So like I, me, myself, those sort of things. Like, reduce those in your sentences, because the more you become genuinely interested in other people, and the more you get people to talk about themselves, the more people are going to like you. So the interesting thing about humans is that guys like us, we all love talking about ourselves, especially to, like, people we don't know, or like when we want to introduce ourselves. We love talking about ourselves. The more you can get someone to talk about their stories, the more you can get to talk to someone about themselves, the more they're going to want to be around you more often. Being that selfless person is so important in winning people over and making good friends, because you are basically saying, like, my time is valuable to yours, and I'm listening to you. I am bringing value to the conversation because I am genuinely in the present moment, and I am listening to you. That is fucking huge, guys. So becoming genuinely interested in other people, that is a really big game changer in winning people over. Now, the last step is very important too. It is helping your community. So community is very important. You got to know what the community that you're in. All right. So be the guy that helps your community around. Be the guy that helps. Be the guy who takes the extra step. Like be the guy that literally like picks up the litter and throws it into the trash. Like, now you might say that's like insignificant. Like, what's that going to fucking do to talking to people? I'm not talking to people. What is it actually going to do? Because it makes you feel better about yourself. Because you're doing all these good things, and that means you have good integrity. That means you're going to have more self-confidence. That means you're going to feel better about yourself. So whenever you help your community around, and even when you're not doing it around people, that's going to blend into your personality. And even when you do it with people, then that's going to be even more important, because now they're saying, hey, this guy, I talked to this guy about my problems and everything. He's like a very cool guy. He's very positive. He's helping people around. Like, this is such a cool guy or girl. If there are girls watching this video, it's like, they are such a cool person. Like, I want to be around this person so much. They're so nice. Guys, I'm telling you, it is possible for anybody, no matter what you look like, no matter who you are. These steps are vital for this, and they can literally be interpreted by anybody. Anybody can implement these steps on their daily lives and get with it. Now, the mental health, like I said earlier on in the video, that is the one that you need to focus on first. Don't even think about the other steps until you've worked on your mental health, because you can't do these things unless you have good mental health. Okay, technically you can, because like you can, do these things and try to help people, but it's going to lose the authenticity, and you're not going to do it as effectively. So make sure you work on your mental health first. That is so important, guys. This is by far my longest video, thankfully so. Again, guys, read the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. It's a very, very good book by Dale Carnegie. I'm going to link it down below once again. Thank you for watching this video. And that has been Nick, or Ponzarelli. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.